YouTube, YouTube down on News TV. I am your host, Joe, and we got a very interesting topic to cover, and pretty sure everybody's heard about it by now. But Slovakia's Prime Minister Fico shot multiple times in politically motivated attack. This article's from CNN News. Slovakia's Prime Minister Robert Fico was hospitalized on Wednesday after he was shot 5 times in an assassination attempt that shocked the country. The attack took place after an off-site government meeting in the central Slavic town of Hanlova. The suspected gunman was among a small crowd of people waiting to greet the prime minister on a street outside the cultural center where the meeting took place, local media reported. Footage from the scene shows the injured prime minister being bundled into a vehicle by his staff before it speeds away with him inside. Fico was taken to a local hospital and then transferred by helicopter to a major trauma center about 20 miles away in Banska Bystrica. No one else was injured in the attack. Both the country's defense ministry, Robert Kalinak, and Interior Minister Matsu Soja Esko called the forgive me if I'm butchering these names. I'm not Slavic, nor do I speak it, the language. Called the shooting politically motivated, but with Estok saying that the suspect made the decision to do it shortly after the presidential election. Oh, nice pop up. Slovakian Deputy Prime Minister Thomas Tarba said he believed the Prime Minister would survive following surgery that went well and was not in a life-threatening situation at this moment. I was very shocked and tried to contact people to figure out how serious his condition was, Taraba said in an interview with BBC's NewsHour program on Wednesday, recalling the moment he heard about Fico's shooting. Fortunately, as far as I know, the operation went well, and I guess in the end he will survive, he said. Taraba told the BBC that FICA, am I thinking of FICO credit scores? Taraba told the BBC that Fico was heavily injured and a bullet went through the stomach and the second one hit the joints. Fico is the most powerful lawmaker in Slovakia. Unlike the president, whose role has limited scope, the prime minister holds rank as the decision-making head of government. That's for being transported to the hospital. The official statement posted in Fico's official Facebook said the PM was taken to Banska Bystrica instead of the capital city of Bratislava because an acute intervention was necessary. Hanlova is about 2 hours from the capital of Bratislava. Slovak President Zuzana said the suspected gunman was detained by police. She said law enforcement agencies will release more information when they can and ask the public not to spread unconfirmed rumors. Kaputova condemned what she called a brutal and reckless attack on the 59-year-old politician. Speaking at a news conference later in the afternoon, she said the shooting was an attack on democracy as well. Slovakia's defense and interior ministers blame rising hate speech and division from the political atmosphere in the country, which they said led to the assassination attempt. Speaking to reporters in front of the hospital where Fico is being treated, Defense Minister Kalinak said, "Hate is not the answer to hate." Visibly shaken and struggling for words at the multiple moments during the news conference, Kalinak said it was time for some people to have a hard look in the mirror. There's no question that this was politically motivated. The inability to accept the choice of people, which some may not like, leads to this, he said. Interior Minister Sutaj Top called for calm, saying those who are endorsing this attack as well as those who are calling for some sort of revenge. And I'm asking you, the media, to please use your power, your influence. Because until now, it was some of you who saw the hate, he said. Following the shooting, Top said the country is experiencing the worst day of its democracy. For the first time in 31 years of our democratic sovereign republic, someone has decided to express a political opinion, not in an election, but with a gun on the street, he wrote on Facebook. Slovaks have been deeply divided over the country's direction and position in the world since Fico's return to power last year. Supporters see Fico as a caring leader who has their interests at heart. Critics say he is a populist whose pro-Russian leaning pose major risks for the country. The country has seen weeks of largely peaceful protests over the coalition government's controversial domestic reforms. The government is also trying to shut down public service broadcasters, RTVs, and plans to replace it with a new national broadcaster, which would be under tighter control of the government. I'm not going to go any further into it, but there's a photo of the Prime Minister. If you want to read the full articles on CNN or where you could just type in Slovak Pm. I heard about this earlier. We're going to check out the little video of the situation.
This is an official update from the Prime Minister's official Facebook page. This attack on him is being described as an assassination attempt. They say he was shot multiple times and that he is in a life-threatening condition, We know that he was taken to one hospital, stabilized and transferred to another hospital. The level and scope of this particular attack perhaps looks more dire than those initial images we saw where the Prime Minister was sort of being bundled and carried, sort of half walking, stumbling into his vehicle, taken to a hospital, transferred to an ambulance by somewhere, taken to that first hospital, transferred by an ambulance under police escort to, as we understand it, an awaiting helicopter to take him for this higher level treatment that the first hospital said they had stabilized his conditions, but now we understand.
That is pretty crazy. Never want to see any of our world leaders in this type of situations. But it does seem like a lot more, I believe he was more pro, I guess you would say, far right leaning. And he was pro Russia. I didn't get a chance to dig into what they mean about pro Russia, as if maybe he doesn't want to join, or he would be more likely to ally with the Russians instead of joining NATO with all that stuff going on in the east of Russia and Ukraine. But I believe he was one of the few that was more pro-Russian instead of wanting to ally with NATO. But that's just some things I heard and briefly read about. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about this situation. It kind of strings back memories of Bolsonaro of Brazil being attacked. I believe he was more far right as well. And here in the U.S., Rand Paul, I wouldn't say he's far right, but he's a Republican, and he's attacked as well by one of his neighbors had a couple broken ribs, things like that. But yeah, pray for peace, but watch your six. I guess that's what they say. But hopefully things will die down, and I mean in a more peaceful way, and hopefully political tension will calm down a little bit because it's pretty crazy nowadays. Even in the U.S., I know. But yeah, that's basically it. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this situation.